The sermon is called The Flame of Divine Becoming. And it is really about, beloved ones, we're not simply beginning a new year. We are crossing a spiritual threshold. And I just got a download about remote viewing.
Hmm.
I don't know if many of you know that in the 70s and 80s, it might have been 60s and 70s, there is a well-known, I think he's still alive. I think he's in his 90s, close to 100, a well-known physicist called Russell Targ, Targ. There is a TED Talk by him because he was employed by the US Army for about 25 years. And the US Army invested over $30 million, that wasn't that much back then, on studying remote viewing. And what is remote viewing? Psychic awareness that allows you to see over long distances, and you can pick up
Hmm.
all the details of what you're seeing through the mind's eye.
Wow.
They hired forensic psychics and clairvoyants. They're well-known psychic mediums who work with police organizations to help find missing people, unfortunately, homicides, people who've gone and who disappeared. Well, apparently, during that time, the Patty Hearst, I was a little kid, but when Patty Hearst, the rich heiress, had been kidnapped because her family was so wealthy and the police wasn't getting anywhere, they hired these forensic psychic mediums who are absolutely, actually able through mediumship, psychic ability, clairvoyance, seeing without knowing how you see, spiritual seeing, who were able to tap into universal mind and see where the kidnappers had left the car and basically find her. Russell Targ was a physicist who knew nothing about psychic remote seeing, but he had been interested in magic. He had been, as a kid, all sorts of magic tricks. And the US Army came to him and a whole bunch of the brilliant minds at the time and said that the Russians are working with paranormal abilities, because the Russians have always been very advanced, and we want to do the same thing. So he hired a few very well-known psychics and a few army guys, higher ups in the army, and they all began to test their psychic remote seeing skills. So what they would do, they would send someone out to Guatemala and have that person stand under a highway, mark their location to most of the people, military location, I'm at something degrees by da 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 da. And then they would put someone in a concrete room with nothing but a chair and say to that person, "Where is Scott?" Draw it or speak it into the recorder. And when that person got and these were people who had no psychic abilities. You could have the psychic abilities, the medium psychics would do it, but the everyday military people would do it. And when they quieted their mind enough, they would draw a stick figure. Scott is under some kind of arch. I think it's kind of sunny. Maybe there are trees around, but they look like palm trees. And with enough concentration, they would be able to say he's in a warm place, he's under an archway. Is it a door? Is it a bridge? And they would get it right 90% of the time. So the US Army invested over $30 million and 25 years teaching military how to see psychically into the past. Sometimes they would have a person remote viewing. They sent someone to Siberia They were near a downed missile, some kind of missile fell to the earth, because there's a lot that goes on militarily that we never know about. So there was a downed missile somewhere, and it's like near misses, and we go, thank you, God. A downed missile, an engineer, a military engineer was next to it. And there was the psychic actually saw the downed missile and the stick figure of the person, but the psychic also drew a well, a gigantic well. Well, apparently there had been a well in the same area about 100 years ago. So when people psychically can remote seeing, they can see into the present, they can see into the future, and they can see into the past. Why is this why is this significant? As we step out on this precipice, the threshold of a new beginning, what do you want to see in your life?
Mhm.
What do you want to see in the future for yourself and this world? Are you remote viewing World War III and nuclear destruction?
Mhm.
Or are you remote viewing peace and prosperity for everyone? This is incredible because this is not really the talk. This is the download. Right now, with my eyes open, because I've seen enough TV, I actually see the Oval Office. I can see it right now. And I see the President of the United States, and I see the two couches. There's a big, big desk. I think there's the seal of the Oval Office of the United States, the eagle. And they're two big, and this is from my imagination from TV shows and what I've seen. There are two big couches, and all the officials come and they sit across from each other on these huge, comfy couches. Right now, my beloveds, I am filling the Oval Office with the light of God. I see the air shimmering. I see everybody breathing it in. And I see this golden shimmer coming out of the mouth of everyone that is entering. Right now, to the left, there's a secretary or assistant. She has dark hair. She's very pretty. She's walking up. She's breathing it in. And as everybody breathes this in, it goes into their nostrils and out of their mouth, and the whole environment, I'm remote viewing, I'm seeing this, is filled with a golden light. I know that that golden light is the very essence and presence of God, and it's filling everybody's mind, heart, and body temple, transforming all of their decisions and renewing their mind. I'm seeing it. We can remote view into the future. If we believe it, we can see it. This is the spiritual faculty that we have been endowed with. It has been kept secret why I talked about the US Army spending millions of dollars on paranormal gifts and abilities. Do you hear? Is because these things that we consider esoteric, occult, woo-woo are real. They like to tell us it means nothing. It's not possible. It's all that fluffy woo-woo silliness. And if that was the 60s and 70s, what are they doing now? What are they practicing now? They're probably able to move from one reality to the next. These are our innate spiritual abilities. When John said he tuned into the frequency in the statement, God is my wealth, I cannot be poor. In unity and new thought, we don't focus on it enough. There is a power to denial. It's a denial statement. Basically, you acknowledge the issue. You don't do a bypass. Even though it appears that there are bombs falling, that presidents are being lifted out of their office, no matter how we feel about the president or the whomever, and there are rumors of war, I know that peace is possible on this planet. That is what I want you to remote view. I want you to remote view your health, the health of your body temple. I want you to see in the future that new self that lives a life of fulfillment in a world that is peaceful. What are you visioning? What are you seeing? Please go on YouTube, put in Russell Targe, listen to him talk about how every single human being has psychic abilities. And it's not just woo-woo silliness. If you whatever you practice, you become. If you say that I'm afraid, you're practicing something. It's not going to work out. You're remote viewing the future. So we are setting intentions. In New Thought and the Unity tradition, this is a moment through the burning bowl, which we are going to stop remote viewing the past. In the Bible, I love the story. Well, it used to scare me. So I'll be honest. As a little girl, when I used to hear the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and it made me feel like all things sensual, even dancing or hugging somebody was a sin. Those stories can be very frightening, but thank goodness for metaphysical teachings. When Lot's wife turned to look back, and she's turned into stone. Metaphysically, she's turned into stone and salt. Salt preserves whatever is dead. If you're on a long voyage, it's very helpful. But do you want to preserve in your life whatever is dead? Do you want to continually look back? As you continually focus on that which is behind you, you are preserving it. You are solidifying it. You are making it a very essence and a part of your life and your being. I don't care if it was I was a millionaire back then and those were the good old times or the good old days. Stop looking back. Stop preserving that which is old, that which is dead. Remote view into the future. See your future self. See the future world manifesting according to the highest principles of this universe. What are you remote viewing? If you're looking at yourself right now with all of the issues and all the challenges you have, and you're constantly just looking at your body and the body of your affairs, fixated, not being able to see beyond your hand, you are going to be remote viewing that. Because whatever you are experiencing in the here and now is the past having manifested right here. It's actually an old manifestation. It's actually an old consciousness. Whatever you're living right now, you created from the past. So it's old. Do not become hypnotized by the present that you are seeing. Because if you believe, oh my God, whatever, all the negative right here and now becomes a form of hypnosis, you become convinced that it's all that will ever be and all that you can have, and you will end up remote viewing and creating that in the future. God is my wealth, I cannot be poor. God is my health, I cannot be ill. God is creativity, I cannot be in a writer's block. I cannot be unfulfilled. If God is infinite creativity, there is always inspiration. So while you're here in the present, don't get caught up with what you're seeing around you. Hold the highest vision for yourself. This is what the burning bowl is about. So when Lot's wife looked back and became a pillar of salt, metaphysically, salt preserves what is dead. To look back is to freeze your consciousness where God is calling us, Spirit is calling us to move forward. Why is there always a winter? Let it die. Let it be buried. Let it be frozen. Let it go. Why does spring come every year? Be born again. Be revitalized. Be renewed. Be in abundance in the sun. Harvest the good. We're constantly being shown by the universe through the seasons of our lives, inwardly and on this planet, to renew, to grow, to let go, begin again. Does the tree have the same old leaves recycled from last year?
Yeah.
No. The tree will have brand new leaves, brand new abundance, brand new healing, brand new peace, brand new revitalization. Begin to remote view your spring. What do you want to manifest? Plant those seeds so that good will manifest. So, my beloved, Jesus echoes this in the teachings when he says, "No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is ready for the kingdom." It's a universal law. It's not about punishment. But if you are constantly looking back to what shoulda, coulda, woulda, what they did, how it was, the good old days, the bad days, the trauma days, you will not be ready for the kingdom. You cannot be ready for the new. It even says if you're trying to fill the new wineskins with old wine, it's not going to work. So Buddhism teaches us non-attachment. Hinduism teaches the release of the outcomes. The Tao teaches us about effortless flow. The Kabbalah teaches that the light cannot enter a vessel already full. Beloved, the future requires space. In the space of your consciousness, remote view into the future and see the good. See the end of wars. See peace for all humanity. There is a programming on the planet. If the military has been studying this, the military and Hollywood, I'm sorry, but they come together to create downloads. Right now, they want us to remote view discord, violence, war, and never-ending conflicts. That is the programming. So that we collectively can believe that that's the only way, because we're seeing evidence. We're seeing the evidence right now. But we must rise above. We must hold the highest vision in the midst. And we get into that frequency of inspiration by being in awe of the sunlight, being in awe of the beautiful snow, being in awe of the cold. When I thought I was dying of cancer and I woke up one day and there were snowflakes coming down and it was freezing, I was so excited for the first time in my life as a Caribbean girl that I was alive. I was like, look at the snowflake. It's a miracle. That's what happens to you when your life flashes in front of you. I get to bundle up with 10, 15 layers and be outside. There are clothes that are so amazing that keep you warm as you're digging out your car. Oh, life is so good. That was me last year. This year, I'm like, oh God, I can't stand it. I hope we don't get more. We forget. We forget about the miracles. Everything was a miracle last year. My friends were like, it's miserable. I was like, no, it's dark. Can you imagine? It gets dark at 4:00. And then in the summer, it's going to be light out. That's amazing. And everybody was like, oh my God, she must be dying because she thinks everything is great. That was me. Because it's all a miracle. And that's how you want to get in the midst of it. When we get into that energy, we're going to change the tides. We'll be able to see and remote view inspiration, creativity, peace among nations, abundance for all of the world and for ourselves.
Amen.
So I'm going to have a call and response because, I love it when we say stuff together. It gets me excited. So I'm going to say, and then you repeat after me. We release regret.
We release regret.
And we choose wisdom and compassion.
And we choose wisdom and compassion.
We release fear.
We release.
And we choose faith and courage.
We choose faith and courage.
We release disappointment.
We release disappointment.
And we choose trust in divine timing.
We choose trust and divine timing.
A biggie. We release anger.
We release anger.
And we choose peace.
We choose peace.
We release unforgiveness.
We release unforgiveness.
And we choose freedom and grace.
And we choose freedom and grace.
We release the old stories.
We release the old story.
And we choose truth and renewal.
And
We choose truth and
This one is a little long. We release identities that no longer fit.
we release identities that no longer fit.
And we choose alignment with our highest self.
We choose alignment with our highest self.
We let go of judgment.
We let go of judgment.
And we make room for the new.
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 We make
Make
room.
room for the new.
So it is.
And so it is.
So it is. Happy New Year.
Oh.